Hello y'all and welcome back to my YouTube channel, On The Journey. Today's my second post of the week because I did tell you guys that on my last video that I'll be posting and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And it's already like 8:07. I was really busy, but I had to upload either way. I can't let you guys down again. I don't want to lie to you guys. I don't want to miss on an opportunity to give my perspective and my thoughts, and missing out on the chance of helping someone, maybe just a little bit. So today's video is gonna be very short. I might touch on a few topics or just many things that have gone through my mind. Let me begin with this one title that I came up with my head is that I might touch on a bit more in another video, but it's interesting. You and I are still here. And what that means when I go into a deeper topic or into a deeper depth into that sentence is we go through many things that make us feel that we're gonna die. Or at least in my perspective, maybe a breakup, maybe a very embarrassing moment, or a deadline that you have to go through. It could be work, a job, your own goals. It can be maybe you're late to something, or that it's just something that has an impact on you. I'm really trying to bring up an example, and this is off the top of my head. This isn't structured like the other videos, but we go through seasons in life where we think that we're not making any progress. We think that we're in a stagnant place in our lives. Maybe we're in a bad spot. You're maybe going through a little bit of depression. You're doubting yourself a lot and who you are, what you'll become, what you'll be in the future. You're doubting yourself of your own belief, of your own value that you can offer to others, to the people who you care about, and many other things. But we go through all of those things. We feel like it's the end. We can't see past through the bad seasons and moments that we go through. Periods and chapters in our lives that felt so impactful. It could be anything. It can be abuse. It can be an addiction. It can be a mental state where you are, let's say, you're fearful of other people, anxiety, your anger, your self-pity, things that make you blind, that doesn't let you see past. And so you and I are still here. I've gone through those moments. I've gone through many, many years of self-pity, and I don't want pity. And you will hear me say about anxiety, you will hear me say about depression and many, many things, because I've gone through it and it sucks. And it felt like I was dying, or that there's no way out, there's no future, that this will always be the way it is. Yes, time still continues on, but the mental I guess, shape that you're in, the negative and bad and unhealthy mental state and condition that you are in, it feels like there's no end to it. It feels like there's no future, that you're always in that place and there's no way out. But time, again, still continues on. And if your drive and your wanting to get out of where you are is strong enough, then you will get out. You will escape. You will find a way to escape that prison of yours that you made to yourself. Or maybe it wasn't even yourself, maybe it was the way that you were brought up. You will find tools. You will sharpen your mind. You will do things that get you out. And when you get out, you realize that there's a bigger prison. It's not over yet. There's a bigger prison. For example, me. I've gotten out of the prison of anxiety. And then once I have overcome anxiety, now there's a different kind of anxiety. An anxiety of, am I being enough? What will I be? Where will I go? Am I ever enough? And I've been going through past experiences, the tools that I've been using to get out of the first prison, which was anxiety. Now, what tools did I use to get out of anxiety? Well, I've used visualization in where I want to be, where I want to go. Who is that me that has no anxiety? How does that me behave that doesn't have anxiety? Another tool that I used was repetition. Repetition and getting out of my comfort zone. Repetition and studying the self and studying my mind, studying my emotions, my thoughts, my actions, my behavior to the subconscious level. Repetition and studying, repetition and acknowledging yourself, seeing yourself to the detail to understand why and how and what can I do. Because then I understood, okay, I feel anxiety in these certain circumstances. Okay, why do I feel anxious? And I went deeper into that specific, mindset and thought, what my thoughts processed and my emotions with it. It was still anxiety, but it was different thoughts. It was different emotions in the category of anxiety. I had to dissect myself to the atom, It takes time and dedication and painful truth to get myself out of that unhealthy mental condition, that prison. Even though I felt like I was dying, there was no way out, I realized that I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. I'm still aware. That there has to be something else other than anxiety. There has to be something else than fear. There has to be something else than living in my head all the time. I just had to get out first. I had to get out. And that's what I did. And that doesn't mean that anxiety doesn't come back. It doesn't mean that anxiety is forever gone. It comes back time to time. I have to admit that. Like in waves, like it's like a freaking rock on me. I never realized how much anxiety, how much mental strength and stamina anxiety took from me. attention to focus, and I always thank God for that. And a big part, and I think everything that I've learned of myself and continuing to learn. I'm not smart, I'm not a scholar, I am not a super intellectual person or a genius, but we all are experiencing, we all are learning. And I believe that God has helped me through every step of the way of my journey. And I want to help you alongside helping me to understand, because I'm not fixed. I'm not fixed. I'm moving, I'm growing, I am improving, I'm changing, and you are too. It just matters how much of you is changing, how much you want to change day by day. You and I are still here. Interesting. Okay, that's already 11 minutes in. It's crazy. And for those of you who are still here, I'm going to talk about prayer. You know, when about like 15 minutes before recording this video, I was at the couch eating my eggs, you know, watching Twilight Zone, the original black and white version, you know what I'm saying? It's really awesome. You gotta watch it. Anyways, other than that, my mom wants to learn how to speak English and write in English. And so I was like, Mom, I've been telling you, we all been telling you to learn English for all these years. And she said to herself, oh, I can't learn English. I can't. I'm like, Mom, she get I learned French. I learned French a little bit, and I was like, all right, you know what, Mom? I'm gonna pray to God that when you sleep, He will teach you how to speak English and write in English when you sleep. And then I was making it as a joke, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a little laugh. But then my mom was like, yes, amen, He will. I pray that He will. I'm like, interesting. She took it seriously and she said amen to that. She said, I'm hopeful that God will teach me in my dreams and when I sleep. I'm like thinking, okay, maybe we're limiting ourselves in our prayer. We're limiting our possibilities and limitations. We're putting the standard to our prayers. And I was thinking maybe like, oh God, give me a new car, give me some money, give me a house, give me this and that. Go for learning, go for your character, go for your personal inner world of who you are. You're the you, not the physical you, but the mind, the emotional, the mind, the soul. Speak for freedom, speak for growth. And it could be anything, it can be anything crazy. Speak for something to be, as long as it's aligned in God, you know. I was thinking to myself, okay, there's no possibilities, there's no limit to God, and so why would there be a limit to our prayer? Why would there be a limit to what we ask for? And yes, understand, please, I'm not saying that, oh God, I pray that you'll make me into a millionaire in like 2 months. Maybe God will, but there's, you know, God's not gonna make you into a millionaire because you know, maybe you're not in the right stage of life and character to handle that kind of money. Who knows what will happen when you gain that money? But it's like saying my mom's, I had a joke, it's like, I'm gonna pray that God teaches you how to pray, or how to speak English and write in English while you sleep. She said amen to that. I'm like, wow. Even if it's something, if it was something insignificant to her, I think it was something very significant to me. But also a little other thing that I want to talk about is that I think it's really helping me is taking a test called the 16 personalities test. It's like a thing, it's like a website, it's a test that gives you certain questions and you answer them truthfully with the shortest amount of time, you know, so that your mind doesn't wander off and gives off like the wrong answer. But I've taken that test a while back, like I think like 2 or 3 years ago. And my personality was the INFJ T. And so I read the whole thing. I didn't understand it, but then I read it again, and a lot of it was true. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not fully bought into that. You know, it's the same thing with horoscopes. It's the same thing with, and I'm not saying that the 16 personalities test is a hoax. That is just a bunch of bullcrap. It is scientific, but it's the people who test it. It's the people who take it. Because in the horoscopes, you look up your sign, you ask what you are, and it gives you all of these things, these facts, these qualities that says that, oh, this is you because this is your sign. And then people buy into that. They're like, oh, that's so me. That is so me. Of course I do that. Oh, that is so you because you're a Scorpio or Leo. Don't believe that bullcrap. People change. People aren't static. We change. We develop new strengths and new weaknesses. Some are more, you know, I guess, I don't know if the word prevalent is a good word to use, but damn, I lost myself. But what I'm trying to say here is that you and I grow and we change. And I took the personality test, and you know, again and again, I came up as a INFJ-T, and it helped me a lot with understanding why the way I am. And it's scientific. The test is scientific. The test has been proven many times. It has very good accuracy, but I just still don't buy into it. I still don't buy into it. I watched the video about explaining the other 16 personalities, and I was like, oh, that's definitely me. Like, oh, I guess I relate to all personality types. Like, hello? But people just do the same thing with the horoscopes. You know, if you tell someone, it's even on the internet a while back when it was trending about horoscopes, when people would ask this person, hey, guess what sign I am? Or like they would do like a certain action, or they would ask their friends or like people who don't know what their sign is. People would guess their sign, and the person would say, oh, you're completely right. And the person would be like, oh, I knew that was you because you do this. Like, Leos definitely do that. Like, those are totally Leo. But then they'd be completely wrong. It's a different sign. You know, just be careful what you consume, even my content. Maybe this content doesn't work for you. Maybe you can't relate to my content. Maybe I'm not explaining well enough. I'm trying here. Okay, as you can see, I'm trying my best to you know, dissect my own thoughts and my beliefs to better help you and I. But, you know, time will continue on and on. I will continue on to learn. I will continue to learn. Yes, that's pretty much it. 20 minutes. It wasn't a short video, I guess. But thank you for staying and hearing my little ramble. I had to post today. I'm not going to be inconsistent and saying what I will do. So, thank you. Be safe, be strong, pray. And thank you for continuing on this journey with me. Stay blessed. I'll see you next time. Not tomorrow.